On today's episode of Let's Talk Drones, we're discussing the EZAcro modes on the DJI Avata 2. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. Let's talk drones. What's up? It's Chris, the Drone Geek, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Drones. Let's Talk Drones is brought to you by The Droning Company, the #1 online resource for commercial remote pilots worldwide. In less than a week, I will be in San Diego, California with The Droning Company for AUVSI's Exponential 2024 show. I'm really excited. We're going to be doing a ton of interviews for The Droning Company's YouTube channel, so make sure you go get subscribed right now. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on The Droning Company's YouTube channel. While you're at it, hit the bell icon too. You'll get notified every time we post a video interview next week during AUVSI's Exponential 2024. The Droning Company, the #1 online resource for commercial remote pilots worldwide. Okay, so full disclosure, I don't have the Avata 2. And that's not a surprise to any of you that have been watching this channel, and especially my Avata 2 leak videos. I said in one of those videos I probably wasn't going to go out and buy it as soon as it hit shelves. There are a couple reasons for this. First of all, I'm flush with cinewhoop drones at this point. I've got the Cinelog 35, I've got the Pavo 20, the Pavo Pico, and the original Avata. So there's 4 cinewhoop drones right there. I don't need another one if I'm being completely honest with you. On that note, and the reason why I'm not buying the Avata 2 right away is because I was waiting to see if something was going to be true that I expected to be true, and it turns out it is true. And that is, the Avata 2 is not backwards compatible with older DJI peripherals. That means even as recent as the DJI Goggles 2, the DJI Goggles Integra, and the DJI FPV Controller 2, those peripherals are not compatible with the Avata 2 as of the recording of this video, which is April 17th when I'm recording this video. So that alone tells me just wait it out, because eventually I think we're all expecting a firmware update that will make the Avata 2 backwards compatible with those peripherals. I've got those peripherals. I just purchased the Goggles 2 not long ago, and that was like $600 or something around there. I don't need new goggles. I don't need a new FPV controller. I've got plenty. So there's no reason for me to go out and buy all that stuff if that's what I need to fly the Avata 2. So it's just gonna have to wait. I'll probably do some sort of a review video after the fact, after all the buzz has died down, just to see what it's all about and share my experience with you. But out of gate, yeah, no Avata review videos from me other than this one today. Now, I've been watching a lot of different YouTubers that have had access to this drone ahead of its release, so they've been able to publish their review videos right as the drone is releasing. I've watched Billy Kyle's, I've watched Ken Dono's, I've watched just a whole mess of them. But my favorite, by far, so far, has been Josh Bardwell's. And it probably has something to do with the fact that Josh Bardwell is sort of like the guy for FPV drones. I mean, a lot of people that are getting started, and especially myself, as I'm learning FPV and as I'm getting ready to start my first ever ground up build of an FPV drone, I've been watching a lot of Bardwell's content to sort of get ready for the things that I'm going to be encountering as I'm setting this drone up. And that's when I came across the Avata 2 video. And there were a lot of things that he covered in that video, but the one that I really wanted to point out to you was that EZAcro mode. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I made a statement that was somewhat controversial to some of you in one of my previous videos talking about the EZAcro mode, that one push acro mode with the Motion Controller 3. At the time, I had said that I felt like it sort of devalues the work and the effort and the time that goes into getting good at flying full acro with your drone. I'm talking about doing acro stunts. We're talking power loops, aileron rolls, we're talking dives, all the things that go into flying an FPV drone and really having fun with it in a full acro setting. It sort of devalued that in my mind at that time. My opinion has softened, hasn't changed though. I still see this as sort of a, why even bother? Why even bother? Just let people learn how to fly the right way. And like, that's sort of a gross way to term it, because there's really no right and wrong way to fly a drone. As long as you're having fun and you're not putting anybody else in harm's way, there is no right or wrong way to fly a drone. It's whatever brings you the most joy. So I do want to just say, like, I'm not fully backpedaling off of that stance, but I have softened a little bit. And some of the comments you folks have left on that video have sort of opened my eyes to the fact it's like, yeah, I was being a little gatekeepy, despite the fact I was trying not to be, and I was trying to make it clear that I don't want to be. It was a little gatekeepy of me. So I apologize for those of you that are just looking to have a good time. I really am. It was just one of those like hit a nerve things, and I was just like, Regardless, watching Josh's review, he showed us how the EZAcro mode works. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by it. Now, on that note, it is gimmicky. I'm just gonna say it. I don't mean any hate or disdain in that comment. It's a gimmick. It doesn't do like an actual acro stunt that could be applicable in an artistic way when it comes to creating a shot. I guess not from my standpoint anyway. It's very tight loop, front flip, back flip, aileron roll. They're all very tight. The one maneuver that is in that one push acro setting for the Motion Controller 3 that I could see people using in a very cinematic, tasteful way is the 180-degree drift move. That looked very cool, and if you get good enough at incorporating that one push acro into your flying, you could really make some cool content with that particular maneuver. So I guess that's the one exception to the gimmicky side of all of this. Otherwise, front flips, back flips, it's all just fun stuff. And that's another reason why my stance has softened on all of this, is because it's not necessarily taking the work out of what goes into getting good at flying FPV. It's just giving people a way to experience some of that world without having to invest hours and hours and hours into getting good at it. Overall, the Avata 2 looks pretty cool. On top of the EZAcro mode no longer threatening my ego, I gotta say, just from watching Josh's video, and I've actually got that linked up in the corner over here, you go check that out. It's a really great video, so definitely check that out. I've also got a few of my other favorite Avata 2 review videos down in the description below of this video, including that one that I just linked up in the corner here from Josh Bardwell. But what I'm really excited about after watching a lot of these reviews is just the upgraded power in the Avata 2. We're coming from a drone that was roughly like a 2-inch drone in the Avata 1 to something that looks closer to be like a 3.5-inch drone. So it looks like we're gonna have bigger motors, bigger propellers, and overall the drone itself just looks like it's going to be more powerful, more capable, which is exciting, especially when you talk about flying outdoors. The Avata 1 was a great little drone, especially for people just getting started in the world of manual flight and FPV flight. The problem with it was you couldn't really fly it outside if there was any type of wind. I'm talking anything more than like 5 to 7 miles an hour, you're out as far as the Avata 1 goes. You could fly it, but man, it had a terrible time in the wind. So seeing this drone and seeing how much more powerful it seems to be than the Avata 1, I'm excited. What do you think about the Avata 2's EZAcro modes? Do you agree with me? Is it gimmicky, or is it something that you really think could be used in a professional application? Let me know down in the comments below, and also let me know your opinions on anything that has to do with DJI FPV. I'm very, very interested to hear what you have to say. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up icon down below. It helps me out a lot, helps get this video out into the algorithm to more viewers like yourself. And if you love drone content shot by drones, about drones, and for drone pilots, well, I've got news for you. This is the channel for you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and while you're at it, hit the bell icon too. You'll get a notification every time I post a new video. Until next time, I'm Chris, the Drone Geek, and I am out of here. See ya!